out of 10 farmers who normally start poultry farming, what normally happens out of the 10, 9 fail, 1 poultry farmer succeeds. As I have been sharing my poultry journey, we are going now to go into details to see why is it that out of these 10 farmers, only 1 succeeds. And it's not just because of the very big things which you need to understand about poultry farming. It's about just the minor issues which the farmers normally ignore. And we are going now to discuss about 3 aspects which are very crucial, which makes very many farmers not be able to succeed in their poultry farming. And we are going to discuss number 1 is the issue of poultry feeding. Many poultry farmers don't have knowledge about how much they should feed their birds, what kind of feeds should they give their birds at each and every stage, and what quantities of feed they need to give their birds in each and every stage, which makes them to make the wrong purchase of the right feeds. Then they give to the birds, then the birds end up dying. Number 2 is the issue to do with vaccination. Very many farmers are also ignorant about the vaccination procedures which must be followed to ensure that you succeed in your poultry farming venture. And number 3 is about the general knowledge about poultry management in terms of biosecurity, in terms of hygiene, in terms of now you are going to take care of the birds. So today, farmers, we want to address the first problem, which is very crucial, so that we may be able to understand what kind of feed and how much should I give to my birds in each and every stage. Join me as we go now to our breeder farm to see what normally happens in this NEO-HEN poultry farm. Because it's something we have done, we have tested to ensure farmers do the right thing and they also make money in their poultry ventures. So farmers, is always very simple and you don't need to struggle because I'm here to walk with you the journey step by step. So today this will be our classroom. I know you might be wondering, what am I doing with this piece of paper? At the end of this video, you'll be able to understand and appreciate the importance of having this knowledge about feeding. What normally happens in poultry farming and in poultry breeding is that there are different models and different kinds of feeds at each and every stage in poultry farming. We are going to discuss what poultry feed should give your birds from the time you get your birds in the brooder, from the time they reach now to the grower stage, to the time they give you the first eggs, and how you need to transit from one level to another. Because if you fail now to address this issue, you are going to lose all your birds and you are going to lose all your business and you will no longer be in business. So let's now get to this our chart and get to understand what normally happens in each and every stage. So this is now the feed intake for 1,000 birds from day old to point of lay. What we have done in this case, I have done this through experience. How I grew NEO-HEN farms, I ensured that I kept proper records up to a time I realized how much each bird consumed at each and every stage. And that is how I came up with this feeding schedule, which I normally share with my customers when they buy the chicks. I normally ensure that I give them the feeding schedule. I normally ensure I give them the vaccination schedule so that they may be able to do the right thing and they don't mistake in their poultry farming. So I did for 1,000 birds from day old to point of lay. So what normally happens when the birds are hatched in the hatchery, the first step what follows, the birds are introduced in the brooder. And the next thing after you give them multivitamins in the water is introduction of a poultry feed. So what normally happens from week 1 to week 8, what normally happens, you give your birds what we call the chick mash. Some companies call it chick and duckling mash. And there are some other unscrupulous suppliers who can supply you low quality feeds and you will not be able to understand. So ensure that you get your feed, number 1, from the right people. So now week 1 to week 8, just come closer to show here. From the first week to week 8, we normally give now the birds now the chick mash. One thing you need to understand about this feeding is that at day old, the chicks consume 30 grams. Then as the birds grow from the first week to the second week to the third week, as weeks progress, what normally happens, as the birds grow, also the feed intake also increases. So in every week, the feed intake increases by 5 grams. That's why you see at day yield, at week 1, the chick will consume 30 grams per day. And for our case, we took a sample of 1,000 birds. So in the first week, these 1,000 birds, they are going to consume 30 grams times 1,000 birds, and they are going to consume for 7 days. So you realize they are going to consume 210,000 grams. And then we convert now to kilograms. You realize now it will be only 210 kgs. We just divide by 1,000 to get the number of kilograms we will need to feed those birds in the week 1. The same concept applies in the second week, where now because the bird has grown, the intake also has grown. The birds now, they are consuming that 5 grams. Then the trend continues from now that 5, 40, 45, 50, 55. As the weeks progress, week 1 all the way up to week 24, which is the week of at point of lay, week of point of lay, the intake increases from, as you can see, increasing up to 140 grams, which is now the maximum. Just show here, which is now the maximum amount of feed which is required now for the bird to grow. Something to note is that this is now the amount of feed which now the bird takes at maturity. As you can see on this breeder farm, we now give our birds 7 bags a day, and every bird consumes around 140 grams because they have reached now, they reach the point of lay at 20 weeks. Then we went now to 130 grams, 135, then to 140 grams, which is now the maximum. So ensure that you follow this chart promptly. This chart will enable you to calculate how much feed you will need each and every stage, so you are able to budget. How many chicks am I going to buy? How many bags of charcoal am I going to buy for the breeding? How many multivitamins am I going to buy? So this chart will give you a rough work, because poultry feeding alone takes up to 70% of the total investment. So you need to do your calculation. What you do, you only change the 1,000 to the number of birds which you buy. If you buy like 200 birds, you replace here with only 200. Then you calculate the amount of feeds you need with your birds up to the point of lay. One thing you need to understand is that this amount of feeds is increasing step by step. But you realize as the birds grow, also feed intake also changes, and also the kind of feed also changes. So as we have seen, from week 1 to week 8, we normally give the birds chick mash. Then from week 9 all the way up to the point of lay. You can see the first egg at week 18 or week 19. The chicken can start laying, some chickens start laying earlier. The time you see the first eggs is now the time now you normally stop now giving them the growers. You transit now to lay as much, but gradually. And I want to show you what normally happens. For example, you normally ensure that, make sure you do gradual change when you want to change from the chicken mash to growers mash. What normally happens? Let's say you normally give your chicks 100 kgs of feed at week 8, depending on the number of chicks you have. You don't change immediately from chicken mash to growers mash immediately. If you do that, your chicks will get stressed, they will get stranded, and it's also going to affect their performance. So what you normally do, you normally change it gradually. And this is what you normally do. Let's take a sample size of 100 kgs. Let's assume you give your birds 100 kgs of feed. You normally give the first day 75 kgs of chicken mash, then 25 kgs of growers mash. That's the first day. The second day you give 50 kgs of growers mash and the 50 kgs of chicken mash. The third day now you go now to 75 kgs of growers mash and 25 kgs of chicken mash. Then the fourth day, this normally happens at week 8. The fourth day of week 8, you give now 100% growers. Then you realize the chicks will have adopted. What you normally do, you normally do the mixing using those percentages, 25, 50, 75, as you transit now to the other kind of poultry feed. If you do that, your birds will not be stressed, number one, they will not be affected, and you realize everything will have been done in the right and in the proper manner. So that's how we transit. The same concept from week 9 to week 24, which is now we normally call it the week of point of lay. You now giving them growers mash, and I have shown you how you change. The same concept at which point here, you realize the birds will start laying. So you also do the same now with the layers and the growers. You change gradually how to introduce them to layers. So there are those people who normally ask me, how much feed will I need now for my chicken? How much money will I need now to start and run my poultry farm? You realize this chart will assist you so much to start and run your poultry farming because you already know how much money you will need to start and run that business. I did this chart when the chicken mash was at 4,000 Kenya shillings, and by that time growers was at 3,400. So let's just come here. We see how many number of kgs we need for that the birds may be able now to lay. So the total number of kgs is 14,665 from week 1 to week 24 for 1,000 birds. In this case, the total number of kilograms of chicken mash is 2,660. That is the amount of chicken mash the birds are going to consume. And the number of kilograms for growers is 12,005 kgs. So we did a cost analysis for the feeds. We normally feed our birds with 50 kg bags. So we took 2660, which is the bags for chicken mash. We divided by 50. We realized it's around 53.2 bags. Then we changed we rounded up to the nearest bag, which is 54 bags, times 4,000. Now chicken mash has gone down around at 600. So we multiply by 4,000 or $25 as per the time I was preparing this chart. So we realized for the chicken mash you need 216,000 or 1350 US dollars to feed your birds from week 1 to week 8. Then we go now to growers mash. We saw is 12,005 kilograms. So we divided by 50 kgs, we realized 240.1 bags. So we rounded off to 241 bags times the cost which was for growers mash, which was at 400 Kenya shillings or 21.25 US dollars. You realize the money you will need now for the growers mash of these 1,000 bags is 819,400,000, which you will need now for the growers alone, or 5,121.25 US dollars. So you realize for you to keep 1,000 birds to point of lay, you will need the total feed cost of 1,035,400 Kenya shillings, or you'll need 6,471.25 US dollars to ensure now you feed your chicken from week 1 to week 24. So you read this is the total amount of money you'll need. There are other charts where you realize farmers will be giving you false information so that you may buy the chicks from them, but you realize you are underfeeding your birds. I have seen some farmers saying, for day yours you are going to give your birds 12 grams. It is not realistic. I have been in this game for 8 years and I am here to share with you the realities in poultry farming and what normally happens. The next thing what I have seen another mistake poultry farmers do is that they normally decide to give their chicks what we call githeri. And this thing I call githeri, each and every poultry farmer has tried it, has given his or her own chicks feeds which are not balanced. Then what has followed, the chicken has either stopped to lay, or they have also reduced in weight gaining. I want also to share more tips about feeding so that you may not be guessing in your poultry farming on how to feed your birds. Because just a slight mistake, you are going to lose everything in your poultry farm. So come with me. What we normally do, like in our poultry farming, let me just show you. You can also make a mistake in your poultry feeding where you buy quality feeds, then you feed the birds in the wrong manner. This is how you need to feed your birds at this age. What normally happens is that ensure that you tie your feeders very well. This is just a normal binding wire. You tie them, then they are up from the ground, then the birds will be able now to get in and eat at their comfort. If you normally place your feeders at the ground, what is normally going to happen? You are going to lose all your birds to fall typhoid or coccidiosis, because the chicken will tend now to eat from the ground and they will eat some dirt which is contaminated. Then you are going to lose still all your birds. So feeding is very much crucial and you need to understand it inside out so that you may not be able to lose your birds at any point in time. What you can see here, we have ensured we don't lose any of our birds. Even now on the drinkers, we have ensured it is raised a little bit, this automatic drinker, so that water does not spill on the ground. Then the birds will take contaminated water, then we will lose the birds. So as always, it's just the simple items, simple things which we normally ignore, which kills our birds in our poultry farms. So it's very much crucial to take these things very seriously. I have also seen some vets who normally advise some farmers and misadvise them. They tell them, I want to advise you on a cheap food, which I have formulated for another farmer and it worked very well. You realize they formulate you a certain type of feed which normally leads to your birds either dying or they are not able to produce even one egg. So what's the essence of giving your birds this kind of a feed? So you realize these veterinary officers, they lie to you. You go all over, you buy wool maize, you buy maize bran, you buy all those takataka, then you mix and give your birds. Then you kill all your birds. Then you are out of business. So don't guess. If you are a small poultry farmer, maybe rearing around 100 birds, 200 birds, even 1,000 and 2,000 birds, just go buy quality feeds from your nearest agrovet, then give your birds. You realize you'll be making some money rather than now gambling with the little money you have. Wait until you reach a good number of birds, then you start producing your own feeds. At this rate, you'll be able now to save and also make progress in your poultry farming. I will be interrogating these topics with vaccination, with other costs which are involved in poultry farming, so that you may be able to ascertain how much will I need to raise these birds up to point of lay. And this is a basic example, something I have tried and it has worked for me. Don't guess, do the right thing at every time. Farmers, thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Ensure that you share my videos. Ensure that you like my videos, leave comments, and also leave a comment on the next kind of question or kind of content you want me to talk about, so that you may be able to start and run your poultry farming without a struggle. Call us 0717-217-083 for order of day-old chicks, F1 from NEO-HEN farms, and we shall deliver. Farmers, see you in the next video. Thank you so much.